All right. Welcome back, my fellow agents. It is I, X7, your host of Hilarity and the host of Zenorama, the podcast of Heroes and Monsters. Today we're going to be talking about a comedy mystery. It says a horror comedy or something. Um, comedy mystery film, but there's nothing horror about this. Now, is there? It's Don Knotts. It's not even remotely scary. I mean, maybe if you're even maybe if you're a child of under 7, it might be a little scary, but really it's not. But the bad guy would have gotten away with it if it hadn't been for that darn typesetter. There were no nosy kids and a dog, but it's that close to it. So it's pretty funny. I did not, well, before we get too much further into it, please like, share, subscribe, leave a comment. Let me know what you think about Don Knotts' first feature film, which led into several more, which your humble agent did see. And just let me know if you like him. Did you like the Andy Griffith Show? The Man Who Met Andy Griffith. And points if you know what that reference is from. The Mind Will Wobble. And if you could, just watch a little longer than usual. Really helps out the algorithm. Having said all that, let's jump into this mystery.
It's spooky. It's eerie.
It's The Ghost and Mr. Chicken, starring 3-time Emmy Award winner Don Knotts as the world's bravest coward.
I have been called brave.
Now, let me clarify this. As you see, I'm a lion with girls, a tiger with men, and I'm just naturally at home in a haunted house. So what's brave? How should I know? I'm chicken.
Mr. Chicken to you. In this motion picture, he starts as a roving reporter. Now he's a raving reporter trying to solve a murder mystery in a house of terror. And he'll scare you silly. Don Knotts in The Ghost and Mr. Chicken in Technicolor.
And you're chicken if you miss this movie.
So first things first, I never saw this movie as a child, and I don't recall it ever airing here in Fossil Bed on Channel 2 or any of the other 4 channels we got. I mean, it wouldn't have been on PBS, no less, but I did see a couple of the movies in the theater, The Shakiest Gun in the West, and something about an astronaut. The one I did see a couple times growing up, and the one that's my favorite is the Incredible Mr. Limpet. And I have that on Blu-ray, and we'll review that at some point in the future. But this is aired on Sven, and it does have something to do with ghosts. So, and it's a pleasant enough movie, even though you know it's going to happen, and you can see the signs and everything. But here we have the town of Rachel, Kansas, population 634, 3004 maybe. I can't see that middle one. This copy came from the Internet Archive. I don't know if Rachel, Kansas is a real place, but it sure looks like it. Could be right off the 70 there before you get to Salina, or maybe after. Either direction. Get all the credits here. Doesn't that look like 1313 Mockingbird Lane, though? There's Otis, who is not even credited in the movie at all. He's playing a drunk. Surprising. And that's the Simmons mansion there. So there was a murder there, and this woman yells out the window, says there's been a murder, this has been a murder, and that would be where did he go? Calver Weems, Hal Smith as Calver Weems, and I think that's Mrs. Weems. Can't tell. Well, anyway, it doesn't matter. So Luther, there's our hero, Luther Heggs, who's very excitable and really wants to be a reporter, but he's a typesetter for the local Rachel, the paper, the Rachel Gazette, or some such nonsense. It's named after Rachel. I mean, come on. We know the town's going to be, well, it's in Kansas too. So they go through all this. He thinks he's dead. He runs out to report the murder. And there's Dick Sargent, formerly, or well, one of the Darrens, and Luther's rival, Ollie Weaver, played by Skip Homeyer, who has been in many things. The name is really familiar to me, but I'm not seeing him in anything I've seen at this point in time. Lots of Westerns, probably as a kid. It's in the Virginian, but probably in, boy, lots of Patterns of Force. Deputy Fur Melicon, Star Trek. So he's got that. Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea, The Incredible Hulk. So he's done some stuff. But other than that, the name's just familiar. He's a good sleazeball. He's always putting old Luther down. Then, of course, Otis shows up and he's alive. So his buddies make fun of him and he threatens him with his karate, meaning empty hand. They don't take that very seriously because none of them have unagi in this movie. This is a boarding house, which you don't see much of these days, where single people could live. And you'd think Aunt B would be right there, but no. This guy here looks like one of Pee Wee's pals we saw in the train, and I don't know if he was or not, but he's got some pretty funny stuff to do, just bits, with these two old ladies. And now we're going to meet Joan Staley as Alma Parker, who Luther's in love with, but she's dating Ollie. And this is the heir to the Simmons house, Nicholas Simmons, played by Philip Ober. And that's the banker there. And there is the old, let's see, what's his name here? Where did it go? Kelsey, Mr. Kelsey, who's the janitor at the paper, and he wants Luther to write about the Simmons mansion. And there's the spirit squad of Rachel, which has a large number of women in it, and the Courier Express, Rachel Courier Express, talking to Darren. Yeah, so they're talking about the article that Darren wrote. So now he's got to go spend the night at the Simmons mansion. Black Cat scares him. He tries to chop the tree, proving once again Luther has no unagi. He's not always aware. He has confronts the Simmons heir, and now he was scoping out there. And now he's having lunch with Alma. And, he gets tongue-tied at the local cafe there, chicken noodle soup. It's full up. This guy, and then Ollie shows up and weasels his way in and goads Luther into spending the night. And now they're giving him flashlights, and now he's ready to go. Ollie says, "You want me to come in with you?" He's like, "No!" Don Knotts, of course, was Barney, Deputy Barney Fife in here, and won 3 Emmys, as you'll see in the trailer. And I have 2 trailers, so I have a TV trailer and a longer theatrical trailer. I probably will show the TV trailer because it's shorter. But Don Knotts is West Virginia's favorite son, probably. I mean, he was born in Morgantown, West Virginia, where WVU is located. Go Mountaineers. Rah. Sports ball. Yay. So Luther tries to get in. The door won't open. Then it opens. Dun, dun, dun. He gets scared by everything. Phonographs, himself, painting of the woman who got killed by being stabbed by garden shears, and himself. He just zips up. I mean, it's a very gentle comedy despite all of the gruesome murder that's the plot point here. The organ starts playing. The stairs, secret passage opens. Up he goes. There's this big old organ, and there's, you know, bloody gardening shears in the, and he faints dead away. So he's trying to talk. They write the story, and it's huge. This guy's suing for libel now, and Mr. Kelsey's very happy about it. The Psychic Occult Society of Rachel. Soars. No. I don't even know. Sorcerer. If that was done on purpose, it's almost clever. And look, does this look like Drew Carey? They're all, you have to save the town. His, she's the banker's wife. She says, don't, because the, the, uh, the Simmons, Ephraim, not Ephraim, but Nicholas Simmons wants to tear it down for reasons. But everyone's cheering. It looks like Drew Carey. They're cheering Luther. He's having lunch with Alma again, and she says, Ollie's not my boyfriend. People think Ollie's, that we're dating, and we're not. And again, once again, Pee-wee's buddy, one of Pee-wee's buddies from Pee-wee's Big Adventure shows up. It's hard to believe. This movie was released on January 20th, 1986. So 20 years later, these guys looked ancient then, but they could have still been alive. It runs 90 minutes. It made a ton of money. It was very popular because, Don Knotts is just very funny, and he's a good actor. I mean, he doesn't mind looking like a fool for the joke. So they're all clapping and cheering, and he touches one of them, and it gives him a psychic shock that travels all the way down. And then here's the first attaboy Luther, which becomes a running joke. We get in the whole movie. We never know who yells it. And so he does a speech, which you'll see parts of. There's there's a lot of just clever things. So Nicholas Simmons is going to sue for libel, and his editor sticks up for him, or publisher and owner probably, says, nope, if he says he saw it, we're no retraction. So off they go. Now, Alma makes old Luther a meal. Then they decide they like each other. And of course, Ollie's not happy about that because she tells him to buzz off. And she's lucky. Nobody gets punched in here or anything. And really, Ollie needed a punch somewhere in this general area. Luther's probably gone through 3 bottles of his deodorant or antiperspirant. And so, we get a look of recognition here. Dun, dun, dun. So really, this could be a Scooby-Doo plot. 2 years before there was Scooby-Doo. And, 6 years before Don Knotts starred on Scooby-Doo, as we saw earlier, in 2 episodes of the Scooby-Doo Mysteries. There's the judge. There's his old teacher and the policeman's, I think that's his wife. So they want to paint Luther as a liar who would make up stories. But, I mean, it doesn't make any sense. This guy says, no, I heard the organ music, but he thinks he's from Mars. So they're like, don't! And then I got just slight visions of, you promise to tell the truth, not about the truth? He's giving me the double talk. Disorder in the court, which, they were not the Stooges here. So the judge just says, okay, we can't decide this. We're all going over to the old Simmons house mansion at midnight. And Alma shows up to support him. Ollie wants Luther to fry, and like they'd fry him for a nonviolent charge, but the members of the jury go in. Luther says, here's what happened. No shears, no blood. The secret passage doesn't open up, but Alma's smart. She's presented as a very smart, capable woman who notices old Nicholas Simmons fooling around with the over by the fireplace. There's some blood there on the organ, but it doesn't start playing at midnight. And she finds the secret passages. So, I mean, this movie drags just a tiny bit. I don't think it runs exactly 90 minutes. I think the print I saw was about 87. But there are some scenes they kind of pulled out just they could have trimmed up a couple minutes, maybe dropped it down to about 82, and I think it would have run a bit faster. So see, there she finds it, and Luther goes back, scared by a dog, and the organ starts playing, and he goes up the winding stairs. All good mansions have winding stairs. Just think about it, and they're cool. But here we have an homage to Phantom of the Opera. If they didn't do that on purpose, I was born yesterday. But it's Mr. Kelsey. So he starts explaining the story. He's got a gun. Nicholas is outed as the bad guy. He's threatening to kill Alma. So this is the most violent we get here. Luther figures out how to come up behind him, gets his karate ready, gives him a chop, and hurts himself. I laughed. I should have put in judo chop, even though it was a karate chop. Then he does a full-on flying body block, or at least his stunt double does, and knocks him down and out. They've caught him, and he would have gotten away with it if it hadn't been for that nosy reporter and his girlfriend. And look who's taking notes there. It's old Ollie. And then next thing, they get married. They give him a kid. We get one more attaboy Luther, and we get a hearty attaboy Luther there. And then the organ at the church starts playing by itself. At least we didn't get a question mark here at the end. So there's our cast of characters, the main cast anyway. There's a bunch more that are listed on Wikipedia that we all know, and I'm sure Sven went over. So it's a fun movie. I do enjoy it, and this is like the third time I've seen it. Probably once on TBS because it seemed like it was a staple there, and then twice on Svengoolie. Tomorrow we're starting a new animated series, The Savage Dragon, and that'll be fun because it's brand new to me. I've only seen 3 episodes now, and I've enjoyed it to a degree so far. I mean, I don't hate it. But I didn't start the music, so let's get that going. And there'll be a trailer here because I don't have a Savage Dragon intro or anything to put on. And we'll see how long this runs and see which one we get. All right, my fellow agents. This is, until our next assignment, this is X7 signing off, phasing out.
I have been called brave. What is brave?
Let me demonstrate. Now, some men are afraid of girls. Well, that's silly. Girls can't hurt you. A brave man just sweeps a female right off her feet. Nothing to it. Some men are afraid of men. No red-blooded American boy should be afraid of men. Be bold, be firm, and above all, be sure-footed. Some men are afraid of ghosts. That's kid stuff.
Do haunted houses scare you?
They're mortar, stone, and wood.
Well, good, because you're going to spend the murder night in the Simmons house alone.
Some men are afraid of their shadows. Some shadows are afraid of their men. So what is brave? How should I know? I'm chicken.
Just who do you think you are? A little pipsqueak like you fighting us in court? Just who do you think you are?
Drop dead, that's who.
All right, Luther, now just calm down.
Calm! Calm! Do murder and calm go together? Calm and murder?
He'd started as a roving reporter with murder on his beat. Now he's a raving reporter as he tries to solve the mystery of the secret passage, the blood-dripping portrait, the ghostly organist.
dinner chicken if you missed this movie.